Say you want to stay in South Africa. You need more time than the standard 90-day tourist limit allows, but you aren't looking to pack up your entire life and immigrate permanently. The legal solution for this specific gap is the Long Visitor's Visa, operating under Section 11(1)(b) of the Immigration Act. The primary draw here is time. This visa legally allows a foreign national to remain in the country for a period of up to 3 years. This category is heavily restricted. The government requires overwhelming proof of your specific purpose, far beyond the standard checks for a vacationer. And a quick disclaimer, immigration law changes frequently, so always consult current regulations. Securing this visa is an exercise in strict legal definition. To survive the application funnel, your actual intent for being in the country has to flawlessly match the government's predefined categories. Those approved activities are specific. You must be engaged in an academic sabbatical, conducting research, or participating in voluntary or charitable activities. Stating your intent on an application form means absolutely nothing on its own. Every claim you make requires rigorous third-party documentation. The baseline requirements start with a machine-readable passport, which must remain valid for at least 30 days past your intended departure date, along with the foundational DHA 1738 application form. This is the prescribed medical certificate, Form BI 811. The South African coat of arms at the top marks it as a required government document. You cannot self-report. This form must be officially stamped and signed by a registered medical practitioner. Next, you have to prove you can support yourself. The financial threshold requires demonstrating a current bank balance equivalent to at least 3,000 Rand, maintained consistently over the last 3 months. There is a critical caveat for younger applicants relying on parents for support. Looking at the official checklist guidelines, notice this explicit warning. Parents' salary advices are instantly rejected as proof of sufficient financial means. You need actual bank statements. Securing the visa is ultimately a test of administrative endurance. Every single claim you make about your health, your wealth, and your purpose in the country requires undeniable paper proof. The location where you submit all this paperwork matters just as much as the documents themselves. New applications must be processed at a foreign mission or VFS office in your home country. You cannot apply from inside South Africa. You face a strict chronological sequence for the application fee. Funds must be transferred electronically, clearing a mandatory 5-day window before submission. Cash payments are strictly forbidden. You must physically attach the printed electronic deposit slip to your application file as proof. Inside that file, chronological alignment is heavily scrutinized. The dates listed on your required return flight itinerary must perfectly match the starting and ending dates written on your institutional invitation letters. The application procedure is as rigid as the paperwork itself. A single timing mistake or formatting error in this funnel guarantees an automatic rejection. Even with perfect paperwork held by legal weight as standard employment, it is not considered a visitor activity. The Immigration Act makes 0 provisions for foreign internships. Undertaking one on a long visitor's visa is explicitly forbidden. Attempting to bypass this by labeling an internship or paid work as volunteering is a direct violation of Immigration Regulation 617. Provide incorrect information to border officials, and you will be refused entry. Let's look at how to navigate this successfully using the practical example of a university researcher planning a 12-month stay. This applicant secures their visa because their timeline aligns. They obtain an official letter from the South African Learning Institution matching their flight dates, clear their electronic bank transfer exactly 5 days prior to their appointment, and present a fully stamped BI 811 medical clearance. Securing the long visitor's visa requires an absolute alignment between your real-world plans and your submitted paperwork. But what if you need to conduct short-term work while holding a visitor's visa? In our next episode, we will break down the process for legally acquiring a Section 11(2) work authorization.